Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This video is going to be pretty much the starting point for me of a new series that I thought I'd want to do. I'm going to do one video per month, talking about 5 movies that I've watched for the first time. And like I say, I'm going to make this type of video every month, talking about 5 movies that I've never seen before and I've just watched for the first time. So I'm going to kick it off with August 2022, and in this video talk about 5 movies that I've watched for the first time in August. Obviously I've watched a hell of a lot more than just 5 movies for the first time this month, but I just thought I'd narrow it down to 5 just to keep it, a small amount but a good solid number. And I just thought I'd give these movies a shout out. And the movies I've chosen are obviously going to be quite older movies. I think moving forward with future videos as well, these movies are going to be a lot older. But the only criteria that's needed to qualify for these videos are they have to be a first time watch for me. The 5 titles I've picked I'm going to run through now. And just briefly talk about them really, and I enjoyed all of these movies. There's 1 or 2 in here that aren't great, but having said that, I did really enjoy them and I did get a bit of a kick out of them. So the first one I'm going to go with, that was a first time watch for me this month, was 13 Ghosts. And this wasn't particularly a great movie, shall I say, but I was entertained by it. There were a lot of cast members in this movie that I had no idea were in this movie, but they all pretty much had recognisable faces. I was overall really just sort of entertained by the designs of the ghosts themselves, really, and I just had a fun time with it. It's not winning any awards, let's say that, but I was just entertained and had a good time with it and watched it for the first time this month. So that's the first movie I've gone with, 13 Ghosts. So coming up next, this was quite a surprise. This one I really did enjoy it. And it's a movie called Last Night with Sandra Oh. And I believe David Cronenberg's in this movie as well. I think he has a small role in it. And it's pretty much, like it says in the title, it's about the world's going to end in 6 hours time, and it's just about these characters and the time you spend with them and what would they do if they've been told they've got 6 hours left to live. There's just absolute pandemonium and chaos that ensues in this film, and you just sort of end up following this small select group of characters. And I really like this movie. I had a really good time with it. Very small, very sort of low budget movie, but I had a very good time with it and was really sort of taken in by the characters, and I enjoyed it and I had fun with it. So that's my second pick that I watched for the first time this month. That is Last Night. So the third movie I'm going to go with is a movie by a guy who directed one of my favourite films called Happiness. And I think this was the movie he made before that. Maybe he might have done 1 or 2 movies in between. I'm not too sure of his filmography. But nevertheless, this was by the same director. And the movie I watched was called Welcome to the Dollhouse. And this was very much sort of in the same vein as Happiness, but had a lot more younger characters in it, shall we say. And I just really dug this movie. It's mean-spirited at times, it absolutely is, but I find that's life sometimes, and it was really sort of well represented in this movie, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the characters. Things don't go according to plan for these characters, but I just really had a great time with it, and I just really enjoyed it. I can't say much more about it than that. It's a film definitely worth checking out. And just had a good time with it. So that is Welcome to the Dollhouse. The next movie I've chosen that I watched for the first time this month was actually a movie we were talking about on stream with Terence McGonagall, and this movie came up, and the cast really sold me. And it's not a great movie by any means. It's not. There's some hokey acting in this, by one, let's say, actor in particular, but I I had a good time with this film, and it's been on my list to watch for a while, but it's not great or anything like that. So the movie I'm on about is Freejack, and I watched this for the first time this month. That's why it's on this list. And yeah, it's got a great cast. Emilio Estevez, Mick Jagger is the actor I was on about, who just, you know, hams it up in this film. And you've got Anthony Hopkins in there as well. And I had no idea what this movie was about. I think after watching it, I still have no idea what it's about. And yeah, it's just utterly insane. And I just loved it. I was thoroughly entertained by it. And I just had an absolute blast with it. As hokey as the acting is, as, you know, as mind-boggling as the story is, I just had a good time with it overall. You know, you can be entertained by a bad movie, and this was certainly up there. There was just things about it I really did enjoy. But yeah, other than that, you know, it's worth checking out. It's a one-time watch, definitely, and I had a good time with it. So yeah, that is Freejack. And the last movie I've picked for me, which was a first-time watch for me this month, was also another movie that came up on the stream that I'd heard of and had never ever seen. And it's a Brian De Palma film, and I've got to say, guys, I adored this film. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. For me, this movie was very much in the sort of same vein as Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's nothing like Rocky Horror Picture Show, if that makes sense. I believe it was made before it as well. So we've got Brian De Palma's Phantom of the Paradise. Yeah, just what a great premise to this film, and just marvellous execution. I loved it. I'm praising it like it's a masterpiece. It isn't. It's definitely a 70s movie that's restricted by budget, you can tell that. But the story just, yeah, it's there. It really won me over. Sort of about this guy who writes this cantata and tries to, like, you know, get it off the ground and take it to this, you know, high up corporate guy who's in charge of, like, you know, this music theatre called the Paradise, and he sort of steals his cantata and, you know, doesn't want to give him any credit for it whatsoever, and he has him beaten up and disfigured, and he ends up sort of trying to take revenge, shall we say, and that's all I really want to say about the plot, because it does go quite deep after that. And yeah, I just had a great time with it, and I just really enjoyed it. I thought the music in this movie was just great, the acting in it was wonderful, and I just had an absolutely superb time with it. And it's one I'm hopefully going to watch more and more in the future, because it was wonderful. Another great Brian De Palma movie for me. It doesn't fit in with, like, the rest of his movies, I think, you know, like Carlito's Way and Scarface, but yeah, it really is a great standalone movie on its own, and I had a wonderful time with it. So yeah, that is my last pick for August 22 of movies I've watched for the first time. So yeah, that is Phantom of the Paradise. So yeah, those are my 5 picks that I watched for the first time this month, and just had a blast with them. I'm going to try and do this, you know, like I said, on a monthly basis, and pick movies that I just really enjoyed for, you know, the month that I watched them for the first time. So yeah, let me know if you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll leave the video there, guys, and say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.